Greetings, good morning, good afternoon, or good evening to Memberita. Today, me and my group consisting of Chaterine, Kania, Sharlene, and Marcia myself will be presenting our topic in Blue Economy, Achieving Marine Sustainability in Indonesia. First, did you know that 71% of our planet's surface is actually covered in water? That's why the ocean becomes one of the most significant components of our planet. And now, we are living in an archipelagic country with the greatest sea area in the world. And by just looking at this one picture in the left, we can probably already tell that Indonesia is filled with so many potentials from its marine sector. However, as shown in the picture in the right, as times are changing rapidly, we actually face many problems regarding the sustainability of our ocean ecosystem. The ocean and their resources are therefore critical to food security and human welfare. And that is why it's important to implement the blue economy. So what is the blue economy? Blue economy is actually an economic term that aims to bring sustainable impact of marine resources to achieve a long-term economic growth and improve livelihoods while also maintaining the marine ecosystem. By conserving the health of our marine ecosystem, we can increase the value of our resources and ensure continuous delivery of resources for present and future generations. So therefore, today we are going to look at 4 approaches on how to implement blue economy in Indonesia, from the MSME sector, digitalization, ecotourism, and management of marine assets. So the first approach that we're going to discuss is through MSME, or Micro, Small, and Medium Enterprises, also called UMKM in Indonesia. It is a series of business practices, and the rapid development of MSME in Indonesia makes it the ideal tool for achieving blue economy. So according to Indonesia's Central Bureau of Statistics, there were 62.9 million of MSME registered back in 2017, which increased to 64.2 million in 2018 and is expected to continue to rise in the next years of 2019, 2021, and so on. MSMEs are sectors that greatly contribute to the nation's economy, and in fact, by managing these marine harvests, these fisheries products can have higher competitiveness in the market and produce higher economic value. Therefore, it can benefit society economically while still empowering Indonesian marine resources. So there are ways that we can do to improve our marine resources. The first one is to innovate. Fishermen can cultivate their catches by adding a touch of innovation and turning the catch from raw materials to finished goods before actually selling it to the market. Therefore, they can turn the products to higher value products. The second one is to explore for further resources. This can be done by looking for animal or vegetable catches that are rarely caught or consumed and making them a new source of consumption for the wider community. This way, we encourage sustainability for our ecosystem in the ocean by not consuming the same type of fish or other resources repeatedly. And then lastly, the third one, in this digital era, MSME must be more strategic in its application of current technology to promote their business growth. Startups such as Gojek, Cepat, or other delivery platforms can be a media to help distribute marine catches more easily and efficiently. Breakthroughs like this help not only Indonesian marine and fisheries to develop, but also benefit Indonesia from an economic perspective, assisted by the development of MSMEs. The second topic regarding digitalization will be brought by my friend Chaterine.
Yes, thank you, Marcia, for a very good material presentation. Now, today's economic development of technology and industrialization are 2 factors that oppose the perceiving the world's environment. One of the measures to conserve the background is the principle of sustainable development. And now, we will see how through the concept of digitalization could support the aquaculture development. Considering Indonesia is a marine country with a significant biodiversity, the blue economic idea is more efficient, and this seeks to propose the answer to the global economic concern in the marine and fisheries sectors that are now recognized as inefficient. Digitalization helps accelerate the duties of development in the aquaculture sectors, and how can we conclude this? Since the farming on the aquaculture sector is from the how humans treat the sea environment, how they observe, what tool they use to observe to produce the assessment, which will turn into the management decision that supports the sustainable sea ecosystem. Digitalization enhances experimental station operation by decreasing and avoiding nonconformity and noise that may arise during the trial. And by understanding this, how digitalization can affect fish health, which can assist to the fish welfare, it allows them to take preventive action to keep the fish healthy rather than dealing with the implication once the fish are already in a vulnerable state. Digitalization also helps accelerate duties such as providing frequent reports to authorities, checking overall fish health, and modifying production plans. And this enables farms to operate more effectively with lower costs and better yields. It is also improves team communication by allowing leaders to examine the statistics behind the particular decision and analyze the previous choice's effectiveness. Consumers may anticipate better product transparency by enhancing going digital, which implies more information to be recorded. Consumers will learn more about where their food originates from and what occurred to it when more fish and environmental data are collected from the aquaculture operations. And by this, we can conclude that the focus and awareness on sustainable food production and environmental management become part of the core DNA of aquaculture food production. And the main principal objective of this digitalization is using the possibilities offered by the data technology in the field of aquaculture trials to provide support to improve the sustainability performance of aquaculture and enhancing the capacity of policy and monitoring and evaluation. And after this, we have a mini quiz that will be brought by my friend Kania, and this quiz is related to the next topic of discussion. Thank you.
Alright, thank you Chaterine for the introduction. As Chaterine had said before, we're gonna have a mini quiz to enlighten your knowledge. Let's take a look at the question and see if you can answer the correct one. The question is, how much of Indonesia's territorial is covered by archipelagic and inland water? A. 60%, B. 50%, and C. 70%. I'll give you 3 seconds to think of an answer. 1, 2, and 3. Time is up. Have you made your choice? Alright, let's see the correct answer. And the answer is... The correct answer is C, 70%. Indonesia's territorial is mostly covered by water, which takes up 70% of its territory. Isn't it super amazing? As Marcia have mentioned before, Indonesia is the world's biggest archipelago, covering 70% of its territory. Moreover, Indonesia has 3.1 million kilometers squared of ocean and 2.7 million kilometers squared of exclusive economic zone. All of this must be put to good use while also being properly maintained so that it can be sustained permanently. One way to take advantages from the marine resources in Indonesia is through marine ecotourism. It is one type of tourism that takes interest in marine-related activities, both at sea level and under the sea. The famous tourist attractions from the marine ecotourism includes the beauty of the beach, snorkeling, diving, and also mangrove forests. Artificial sports such as banana boating, jet skiing, and surfing are also available. Unfortunately, these potentials have not been utilized to its full extent. However, there are several steps that can be taken into account in the development of marine tourism sector in Indonesia, namely as follows. There are 3 steps. The first step is enhancing interagency collaboration between parties. Collaboration between ministries, institutions, and key stakeholders is required. The example for the collaboration is the labor-intensive National Economic Recovery Plan on 5 beaches in Bali through the Coral Reef Restoration Initiative. The second step is involving the community. Local people in the area should be urged to take an active role in exploiting the ecosystem services while also maintaining environmental sustainability. And the last step, but not least, is the third step, which is developing conservation area. In this case, the Indonesian government has even set a target of 10% of Indonesia's oceans as operational and sustainable marine conservation zones by 2030. We, as Indonesians, must preserve the sea and promoting the synergy between parties to ensure that Indonesia's marine tourism potentials continue to expand optimally. We should also improve the management of marine and coastal assets, which will later be explained by Sharlene.
Thank you, Kania. So another important thing about the blue economy is about how to manage the marine and coastal assets. Why is this important? Because 2.8 million households in Indonesia are directly involved in the marine commodity industry. Therefore, if marine and coastal assets are depleted, the livelihood of these households could be lost. Also, government socialization regarding sea sustainability has not yet been optimally realized. Thus, Indonesians have not acknowledged how depleted the local marine and coastal assets are, and so far have not done any significant effort in conserving them. In addition, the government is also judged to be lacking in seek to optimize the potential, especially in coastal areas. It is time for Indonesia to need to apply economics with a clear strategy in order to maintain and maximize Indonesia's abundant marine potential. Future marine development must be directed at ecosystem-based management. Development must also be aimed to increase the role of human resources in the marine sector. Hopefully, sustainable development can encourage Indonesia's economic recovery after the COVID-19 pandemic through the blue economy. In order to achieve the blue economy, there needs to be a good collaboration in its execution, where the government must consider the sustainability of ecosystem and local people living around the sea or coast of Indonesia. Furthermore, if properly implemented, it is envisaged that it will benefit both the Indonesian economy and coastal population. That conserving the mangrove forest in Indonesia is also a crucial step in implementing the blue economy. Mangroves provide many valuable ecosystem services, supporting, providing, regulating, and cultural uses. Expansion of the mangrove forest conservation would be a significant stage, so the mangroves could provide help in protecting the depletion of land in coastal areas, so people living and working around the area can avoid corrosion problems. Moreover, reclamation on factories to minimize carbon usage in the reach of mangrove growth area is also needed in order to keep the mangroves alive. It is time for Indonesia to need to apply economics with a clear strategy in order to maintain and maximize Indonesia's abundant marine potential. Future marine development must be directed at ecosystem-based management. Development must also be aimed at increasing the role of human resources in the marine and fisheries sector. Hopefully, sustainable development can encourage Indonesia's economic recovery after the COVID-19 pandemic through the blue economy. In order to achieve the blue economy, there needs to be a good collaboration in its execution, where the government must consider the sustainability of ecosystem and local people living around the sea or coast of Indonesia. Furthermore, if properly implemented, it is envisaged that it will benefit both the Indonesian economy and coastal population. Thank you for staying until the end of our presentation. I hope this presentation could bring change to the better good, and we do apologize for any wrong sayings.